Hey, hi everyone. This is Elise. I'm calling in and I'm doing this video in Singapore. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It's now 9 a.m. So it's not probably, it is 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. So welcome to the call. This is Elise. I'm your host and this is my home. And I want to just give you a heads up that I have the instant teleseminar going on, and I have this Google Hangout, so I will be rotating between the both of them. And if you want to ask me a question, please call in. The number should be on the page, or type in via the type chat box, and I will be answering your questions. So today it's about the art of receiving no, how to stay in your power, not take it personally, and use no to take your business to the next level. Yes, it's a mouthful. So what got me thinking and what made me want to host this is because, you know, I've been studying the market, looking at how people are promoting their business, how people are teaching, and there isn't really new information out there. And so many people are talking about the money, how to make money, how to, uh, drive traffic, how to close the sales, master sales, this and that. But, as women entrepreneurs, we are very emotional, and there's not enough people talking about the yucky stuff, which is, Tony Robbins actually talked about people actually avoid feeling the pain. So people always talk about the good stuff, the positive stuff, like how to attract clients, how to close the sales, how to receive, and so on and so forth. But what about the other side, which is, the rejections and the obstacles? People don't talk about it, but it's so important and vital in our business, because that's the deal. You get more no's than actually yes, and this is the deal, right? And so many women go from corporate to starting their own business, and they're wondering why is it that they can thrive in corporate but they can't in their own business, right? They can close $1 million sales, 10,000 sales, 20,000 sales, no problem, right? But when it comes to their own business, it's, it's so difficult. Why? Because, in your own, when you're working for someone, your values, your personality is not in the line. Because when someone says no to you, they don't say no to you, they say no to your company. So you're all right with it. But when it comes to your business, it is your business, and therefore you take it so personally, and you think and feel it's really real, but it's an illusion. That when people say no to you, you feel like it's you, it's all about you. It's like, oh my God, they don't like me, I'm not good enough, and so on and so forth, right? So you're making it more complicated than it should be. So I'm gonna be sharing with you some of the few strategies that I actually used in the beginning of my career, how I actually, you know, took no with a pinch of salt, and until today it still hurts, it stings, because it's still going back to there's something wrong with me and I'm not good enough. This not good enough and something wrong with me is a huge thing for women entrepreneurs, and not even like for entrepreneurs, but it's just a huge thing for women. So the first fear is dying, obviously, and the second fear is public speaking, because you cannot control the crowd, and we tend to be control freaks. We want to control our environment, we want to control this and control that. We do not want to step outside our comfort zone, and therefore this no is very hard to take, right? And so I want to share with you my story, my journey as I was starting out. We all start with the email list, although it's 0, but we start somewhere, right? So as I built my list, it went from 1 to 2 to 10 and to 50, and it got really exciting, right? I mean, 50 is nothing, but when you're starting out, 50 is a huge number, right? So, and then somebody, how you put in so much effort, right, to build your list, to have these 50 people sign up, and then you see people leaving, like, oh my God, what's happening, right? Like, you do so well, you give your best, you give your best shot. Every email, newsletter you write with your heart and your soul, and you give, and then suddenly 1 subscribes, 2 subscribes. I remember feeling in my tummy. It was like, oh my God, like, what am I gonna do? It's like, oh my God, like, life is taken away from me. I freaked out. And even until today, I feel bad, but, in the business sense, you got to just think about it this way. If they don't want to stay on your mailing list, then let them go, because you are paying for it and it costs you money. So think about it that way. So it's all about your thoughts anyway, right? And so I would feel really bad. And even when I started out that Spiritual Entrepreneurs, the Facebook group, every person is so precious, because at the end of the day, it's the numbers game. You want to grow your list, and it's really at the beginning, it's really the ego game. You want more, you want more. So when someone were to leave, I would feel really bad. And initially, I found my voice in the Spiritual Entrepreneurs, and it's now I'm hosting about 2,600 women now. You really need to step up and say your truth, because how else are you gonna crowd control, right? Not to say that they need it, but sometimes you just need to come in and say uncomfortable stuff and stop things from happening. And why are you saying this? And really remove stuff and ban people. It's not nice. Nobody likes to be removed, but I have to think for the benefit of the group and everything else. So there's so much for me to think about. So it's not really nice. It's not nice to be fired. It's not nice to fire people. So it is a learning curve for me. It's either ways, it's not yummy. Feeling's not good, but as a leader, you got to do what you need to do. So learning and accepting no, the faster you can accept no, the faster you can grow your business. That's just the way it is. And there is this thing, the law of average. Every 5 no, you'll get 1 yes. So, and I want to also share with you, like, initially when people will start, like, you're so horrible, such a horrible person, it really hurts. It really, really hurts, because it's like, I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me, and it's got nothing to do with my leadership. And it's just, I took it really personally, and I had to do some inner work. And although it didn't seem like I had to do inner work, but I really had to do inner work. So I want you to get this straight right from the beginning. It's never about someone else. It's always about you. So if you feel triggered, then go hide in your cave and ask yourself, what are you really triggered about? And the faster you can get over this, the faster you can close the deal. You can understand whether it's a yes or no. I remember as a new coach, I was struggling then. For those who don't know me yet, go read up my story. I don't want to take up time to tell you about my story, but this is basically what happened. I was a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to run my coaching business, $50 in the bank, wanted to hire a coach. And then, so I had to really do a lot of sales calls to pay my coach, right? So can you imagine how much things are going in my mind? Like, I've got to pay my bills, I've got to close the client, and every discovery call meant, oh my God, this is it, I'm going to close her. That was the energy I had, and I'm sure some of you will have as well. And it was like, I have to close it, because if I don't close her, then I have to put food on the table, and it was just so crazy. And so when I was doing a sales conversation, they will go really well. Sales conversation, maximum 60 minutes, the quickest is 30 minutes. So it's between 30 to 60, right? So I would go on and on and on. I'll bring her, to the merry-go-round. I'll bring her go to roller coaster. And then to some point, you have to talk about your rates, right? And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, this woman, I'd rather die. It's like, oh gosh, please. I don't really like this moment, because I have to talk about my rates. And it was just very emotional for me. And I could just feel again that worm in my tummy, like someone unsubscribed, but times 10. So this is a huge worm for me. And so, I've learned to just say my rates and just shut up and just hear if it's a yes or a no. And if it's a yes, that's great. But more often than not, it will be a no, and you've just got to suck it up and understand. So this is where your mastering the sales comes in. Like, why no, da 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 da. So, but that's another conversation. But let me give you another tip here really quick with the sales conversation. Like, you got to really listen and stay present and understand why the client is saying no. Is she really saying no to you, or is she saying no because I don't have the money, da 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 da, and then work on that. So if you take it personally, you're not going to be able to hear what her no is all about, and then you lose a client. And the fact of the matter is that if they don't pay you, you have no right to serve them. You have no right to heal them. You have no right to coach them, or whatever it is, because it's this divine contract, right? So I want to give you an example. Like, when I started as a healer, I wanted to heal everyone. Like, oh, I've got these magic gifts. I want to heal everyone. And like, why would anyone want healing? Why would anyone want to be helped? So if you have that mentality, you are totally in that codependent relationship. You need to be a hero, therefore a victim need to show up. And I couldn't understand this. Like, why wouldn't anybody want to be healed, right? And so there's this thing called spiritual rape, right? Like, we have free will. Not everybody wants to be healed, especially the victims. They don't want to be healed because then they can be in the victim mode, right? So think about the cab drivers. Like in Singapore, you don't want to mess with the cab drivers because you got to pay their insurance and you got to pay their, oh gosh, it's just too much. But for them, it's happy day, right? And so if they meet an accident and you happily go and like, oh, my hair is out of place, like, okay, sorry. And it's just a distraction. And so you happily go busybody your business and poke your nose into their business. Like, oh, come, let me heal you. And they will be really pissed with you because they don't want to be healed. They want to stay at home, lie down, and take the insurance money. So not everyone wants to be healed. Same thing, similarly, when they pay you, you have the permission to say whatever you want as a coach, as a healer, and give it to them as it is. But if they don't give you that permission and they don't pay you, you really don't have any business and whatever it is to go save them and help them and do whatever you need with them. So there's something you need to master. So if you take it personally, you're not in service because you're taking it all about you. You're making all about you. And when after I gave birth 3 weeks, I clinched this speaking thing, right? It was about to 126 people, and that was my biggest crowd ever. I've never spoken in public before. Remember, the second fear is like public speaking, and I just gave birth. I'm super out of shape, and oh my god, it was just terrible. And so I was really freaking out for 2 weeks, really 2 weeks. Not so much in 2 weeks because then it was like 50 people. On the dates that was 126 people. I'm like, oh my god, I almost killed myself. Like, oh my god, you would be happy, right? But I was just crazy. So and then I did something and I'm like, okay, and I realized I'm so scared because I'm focused, my focus is on me. It's all about me and not about them. So think about why you're in business. You're in business to serve, obviously to make good money. That's one thing. But if you're just focusing on the money, then your client's going to focus on the money. So you need to focus on the service, then the money will come. So it's all about me, right? So whenever you're feeling like, oh my god, the money, oh shouts, so you need to remind yourself, if you're going through this mind chatter, means you are focusing on you. Shift gear, shift the focus on them. How can I help them? That's when I shifted gears and I asked myself, what would they want to learn from me? How can I better serve them? And then my fear was like, was gone, 50% gone. I was still scared, right? 50% gone, and I delivered it. It was really well. It was really nice. So same thing with your sales conversation. Whenever you are focused on the money, trust me, the clients will focus on the money as well. Because where you focus, energy goes, right? So here's what I did, especially when I was struggling. And to be honest, you will never not think about the money until you have the money in your bank account. That's for sure. But you gotta rewire your brain in that way because then you're in the survival mode. So the next thing is you need to get out of survival mode, even though you are. But I talked in one of my shows or one of the calls that you think when you have 10K, 20K, you will get out survival mode. That's a big mistake because in the survival mode it's just a mindset. So can you just imagine those people who have created a huge and very large careers and they're driving like Ferraris, staying in multi-million-dollar houses? Can you imagine how much they actually have to sustain it? If they lose it all, it's worse than people who are not having it all because there's nothing to lose. So if you don't get out of survival mode like right now, it doesn't matter at which level you are, you will still be, I want more, I want more, I want more. I was so much in survival mode to the point where I wasn't even living in the moment. Like every time I closed it, okay, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. It was just going on and on and on and on and on. It never ends. So I don't care where you are right now, you need to just get out of survival mode, right? How to do that? whenever you have the fear like, oh my God, there's no clients, ask yourself, is this true? Is it true that there's not enough clients out there? Is it nobody will hire you? You don't trust yourself, or is it you don't trust God? Well, the answer would be, well, it will be crazy if I don't trust God, because that's not true, because God always supports. If you have a different answer, then you need to go do something with it and mend your relationship with God, okay? And then so it's me that I don't trust. So what is it I don't trust? What is it that I'm not good enough? Maybe I don't feel confident in my coaching skills. Maybe I have some knowledge that I'm not. So this is your line of thoughts, right? So go work on your survival mode. Get outside survival mode and get into serving mode. So whenever you're in a sales call, you need to circle yourself, put yourself in the circle of love. Like I said, I don't care whether you're struggling or not, but once you focus on the money, trust me, the money issue will always come out. Like, I don't have the money, because whether the person is spiritual or not, whether the person is clash sentient, is that how you pronounce it, or not, or sensitive or not, we are all made of energy and we can feel energy. So I want to give you an example. Like, you're not spiritual, you don't know shit about spirituality, right? You work for a female boss and she stomps in and she gives you this face and you're like, okay, hey, oh, right, okay, you know, I'm not gonna. Why? Because you know she's upset, right? Same thing. Over the phone, people can feel your energy, okay? So put yourself in the circle of love and tell yourself, you know, sales discovery call is not to close. It is to discover, as it is, whether you are the right coach, consultant, healer, whatever you provide for them, and they are the right client for you. Yes, you do have a choice. You can choose your clients, right? Because you don't want nightmare clients. You don't want them to schedule, oh my God, this person, you know, so. And therefore, put yourself in the circle of love, put yourself in service, you know, surrender it to God, know that all is well, whatever happens will happen. And even if that person say no to you because of her own issues, know that you are creating good karma for yourself. You know, what goes around comes around. I always believe this. I'm helping her, and as a result, good karma will come to me, even a better client or someone who's just willing to pay my rates like this. And it always happens. So I want you to understand that no is just part of the business. No, it's part of the deal. And you know, I can't remember, was it Brian Tracy or Zig Ziglar that said, like, the first time you do something, it always fails. And expect that, right? And so many people I see fail. You know, to be honest, 80% of startups fail because they quit in the first 6 months. That's scary. I think within 3 months they fail. So I always tell people, not that I want to play at devil's advocate, but it's true, right? If you're not willing to put in 1 to 3 years of your time in your business, then don't start a business. You know, if you're not willing to invest in your business, then don't start a business, because you really need to pay to play. Even if you don't hire a coach, even if you don't hire any consultant, you still need to do something like go networking, you know, do some Facebook ads, Google ads. That's money, right? Where do you think your clients will come from? Where do you think leads will come from? It's not going to fall from the sky. So you still need to invest in yourself. So this is the deal. You gotta pay to play. That's, you know, like Kimura says, you need to play big to win big, risk big to win big. So, and of course, in business, in our business, is calculated risk, right? And you know, every time even myself, I just think, you know, every time, you know, it's such a good idea, I launch something, boom, it happens. No, it doesn't. All right, and then you just gotta continue going on. And I want to give you this mantra, which helped me the first time. You know, I'm a cabin crew, right? I flight attendant for 10 years. Although I think I'm good at networking because this is part of my job. I need to talk to passengers, right? But here's the thing, the passengers are in my home ground. They are on the plane and this is my comfort zone, right? So that, I mean, I'm not afraid of talking to people, but when I started my business as a healer, so esoteric, and I went to a BNI chapter and I had to start talking about this, and people talking about CRMs and I don't know what they were talking about, and I was just simply clueless, right? Although I wasn't afraid, I was very collected, but I was shaking. I remember me being, you know, I had to stand up and say my pitch. I didn't even know what the hell it was, but I just said something. And I was like, please don't be me, please don't be me. And finally it has to be me. I was wearing a skirt, and then the table, I could feel my leg go. It was just crazy. And then I remember there's this mantra, successful people feel the fear, but they do it anyway. So I was repeating, successful people feel the fear, they do it anyway. Successful people feel the fear, they do it anyway. So if successful people have the fear, so I have the fear, and so I had this whole thing. And so I stood up and I said it, and that was it. That was the longest 30 seconds in my life, okay? Longest. But you kind of like survive, and then you get over it. And I'm like, well, that's not so scary. So whenever there's a fear, walk straight into it, because there's just no other way. It will just keep coming back. And you want to create new experiences for yourself, because that's what your mind, your ego is telling you. And the ego, your body doesn't know the feeling between excited and like no. So it feels the same. So whenever you're feeling something outside the norm, happiness, sadness, it feels like it thinks you're gonna die. So it wants to keep you protected. That's about it. So one thing I got really good at was to be friends with my fear. Talk to my fears. Like, why are you so afraid of? And usually there's some inner child work that you need to do. I love talking to woo people, because then you understand what inner child means, right? So it was, and then you would stop crying, but that's fine. That's just therapy. You just got to go through it. So, and it's, I remember this time, I want to tell you this, why I had this thing. It was because when I was so much younger, I think it was 7 years old, I remember going shopping with my parents. And my dad was this, no, everything is no. My mom would be like, yes, everything is yes. And so we went shopping, and I hate shopping with my dad because everything is no. So I wonder if my kids say the same thing about me. I don't know. But anyway, so I remember wanting to buy this bag so much. I loved it so much. And my mom said yes. My dad said no. My mom said yes. My dad said no. And then they were starting crying. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, I just want that freaking bag. Just buy it for me, right? And then my mom lost. My dad won. I didn't get the bag. And this image was inside me for so long, until recently I transformed it, because I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to have the bag, right? So the key is, anyway, it's always coming back. It's always going back to some inner child work that you need to do. It's like the fear of rejection. That the baby is afraid. It's not you. I turned 35 tomorrow, so shh, don't tell anyone. I know I look 25. That's what I tell in my head. My daughter will ask me, how old are you? I'm 25. Like, no, you're 35. No, I'm 25. So it's just something that I tell myself. So do whatever it takes that makes you happy. And so it's not you at 35 that is struggling with this. It's a child that is struggling with this. So you follow the fear, right? And see where it leads you. I always follow the fear, because we are afraid of the unknown. That's why we are afraid of public speaking. We don't want to get outside our comfort zone because of the fear of the unknown. So follow the fear, follow the fear, follow the fear, follow the fear. It will lead you to somewhere. And then once you find that story, and then you ask yourself, is this true? Is that so scary? No, not really. And then you change your mindset, right? So it's every experience that you go through, you have to become fearless. Every level you climb, there will always be something that you need to do to get there that is not within your comfort zone. Because frankly, if you already know how to do it and you've already done it, you would have already gotten the results, right? So new level, new devil. So suck it up, get over it, get used to it. This is part and parcel of life. Okay, so I remember this year I made this huge income goal, and I said I want to reach it, right? And then the next moment, I got a lawyer letter for $26,000. It's crazy. I thought bad things don't happen to good people, like spiritual people. I respect God, I do good. And so why is this thing happening to me? So a client refused to honor her contract and countersue me instead. I'm like, okay, so I don't want to play victim. I use this situation. Hello, if you didn't get sued for 26K, count yourself lucky. So whatever shit you're going through, it's nothing. So of course I drank, and I'm like, oh. Of course I allowed myself to emote. We are human beings, we're not angels. So I'm like, oh my God, what should I do? Oh, why is this happening to me? It shouldn't be happening to me. I'm such a good person. Okay, so victim mode. And then I turned it around and it's like, what can I learn from this? Like, why is God doing this to me? But after a while, talking to my mentor, she said, you asked for it. I'm like, why would I ask for a big suit for 26K? Like, you ask for it because you want to up level, and God is showing, and your unconscious mind is showing what you need to go through to get there. So I want you to understand that whatever situations, like uncomfortable situations, like no, whatever, it is part of the plan. It is part of the deal to help you become the person you need to be. So don't take it personally. In fact, change your perception and use this and ask yourself, what's the lesson here? Once you learn it, you move on. It'll never come back to you again. Because closing sales, talking to people is part of your business. It's part of the deal, right? If you're in business, you're in sales, you need to market yourself. And getting no's is just part of the deal. So the faster you can get over it and like wash it over, the more successful you'll be. And really, there's no instant overnight success. You see those people like suddenly hit 10K, 20K. There's no overnight. I don't want you to be fooled by it. You have to understand they have put in a lot of time and effort and sometimes even money to get there. I remember my mentor was telling me there's this person in her mastermind spent 800,000 to make 1 million so that it looks good. She's a millionaire coach. So don't believe everything you see online, And I know how it feels like when you see someone going for it, making 25,000, 250,000 launch, blah, blah, blah. I know it hurts and it never feels good. And especially someone who you think it's not as smart as you, not as good as you, like, how did she do that? So this is part of rejection. This is part of, that yucky feeling, and understand that it's just part of it. And as women, we are so competitive. Not with other people, but with ourselves, right? We are so hard on ourselves. So don't be jealous of someone. Don't be envious of someone. You're just telling your unconscious mind that you don't get it. You don't deserve it. So here's what I do. When I would do this, at the beginning of my business, there'll be this woman that I follow. She's same age as me, and she said she has made $1 million. And I'm like, but she cannot speak well. She's not pretty. And how did she do that? And I was just being that bitch, right? And then I realized this is not serving me, and I started blessing her. And I said, good for her. I wish her well. And every person that I feel like they have the results and I want, and I'm feeling this warm in my tummy again, I bless them. I bless them, because what goes around comes around. You tell your subconscious mind, you tell your unconscious mind. These little things that you do, it really changes your unconscious mind, because law of attraction happens through emotions, and it's just controlled by your unconscious mind. Everything is unconsciously created for you. So until Carl Jung said, until you make your unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you'll call it fate. So nothing is fated, nothing is in the books that you're fated to be poor, you're fated to not find love. It's all in your unconscious. So your job is to find what's in your unconscious. So everything is attracted through the unconscious, right? So that was, I'm just looking through my notes. I have some notes here because I have 3-second memory now. After I gave birth to 3 children, it's just crazy. So, all right. The next thing I want to talk about is, all right. So when a client says no to you, it doesn't mean no forever. Okay, it may not be the right time. They don't need what you have to offer right now. So I remember I said yes to, I didn't really say yes. It was a discovery call, okay? And then later I realized it wasn't something that I want. And then he said, well, you wasted my time. I had to reject someone else just to say yes to you. But you have to remember, no doesn't mean no forever. And I did genuinely think I want to work with him sometime later on in my life. But because of this experience, it was a no forever, period. So I want you to know that no doesn't mean no forever. I mean, there are people that I follow. I'm sure you have the same experience. You follow forever, some for a period of time, and you didn't say yes to them, and then you buy some mini course here and there from them, right? So it's not a no. You're still buying from them. People are still buying from you. So it's just because it's not a big ticket item doesn't mean that it's a no. It's still a yes, right? And so I want to emphasize that whenever you are feeling emotionally triggered, it's always about you. It is such a good opportunity to work on yourself so that you can take yourself to the next level. Because like I said, when I got sued, I was like thinking, but Oprah doesn't get this, who are you, yeah, I was being that victim. So, and then my mentor was telling me, no, Oprah gets sued all the time. I'm like, oh, that's a game changer for me. So, and then I thought to myself, if I couldn't handle this and actually go to a lawyer, because I am afraid of the lawyers, to be honest. I mean, who isn't afraid? Because they send you crazy stuff, and then the jargons, their letter is really scary, right? So I had that fear. And oh my God, it's like I have to spend money. And so there was just this whole thing. But I thought to myself, the only reason why this thing happened because I trusted her and I didn't sign a contract. So it came back to bite me. So no matter how good the client is, no matter how you think, how spiritual you are, always protect yourself legally, because shit things happen to good people too. And we are all human beings. You must understand, unless we are all in the angelic realm, then we are all angels, but we are human beings, and we are, sad to say, we are decided, we decide based on our ego sometimes, and they may not be, it's not that they want to hurt you intentionally, but I suppose she had some money story, she wasn't, and therefore I was the target. So whatever it is, understand that this is a soul contract. Your soulmate may not come in the form like, hey, you're the best, you're so awesome. Your soulmate may come in the form of situations like this so that you can grow. And always understand that it's always a breakdown before a breakthrough. And if there's no situations for you to grow, then how can you be a better person? How can you be a better leader? So look at these situations and be a bigger person. Make yourself bigger than the problem. Know that this is happening for you. It's not happening to you. So it's not that the world is against you. It's not that God is against you. It's not, on the contrary. It's happening for you so that you can be that person. Many years ago, I've been coaching for 4 years. I know, maybe 4 years ago, I wanted to do VIP days, and I wanted to do whatever walla thing I had in my mind, and I wanted to do business, but I wasn't ready yet. And if I took it literally, this is no for me, I would never have gone further. And most people want to see right now. I want to see what's going on right now. And if you focus on I want to see it right now, it's not going to happen to you. It's not going to happen for you because you're not ready yet. And you're not ready yet. That's to say, I'm sorry, but yeah, you got to work on being a better leader, better business owner, and then that will come. I'm saying it in not big. I'm saying it not because I don't think you're good for it. I'm saying it because that's the way it is. If I was this good businesswoman, it would have happened. It would have happened long time ago. All right. And the next thing is you need to have peer support. You need to hang out with positive people. Whenever when you start a business, there'll be naysayers. There'll be crazy people who say, "What are you doing?" Blah, 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 right? So you need to hang out with people that knows exactly what you're going through so that they can give you moral support, right? I mean, I cannot imagine if I didn't have my mastermind peers, my mastermind partners, my peer support when shit hits the fan, I can go and and then they're like, okay, it's all right. You just need that kind of space. If you don't have that, then you would give up really, really quickly. So you need to find yourself a supportive group that will not judge you, speak their truth, and give it to you right there and then. All right, so I'm going to the Q&A section, and I want to see if there are any questions. Alrighty, I have questions. I love questions. Thank you so much, Elise. You gave me courage to thrive than survive. I get hurt as well, but you broaden my perspective. Cheers for mantra. Yes, thank you. Happy birthday, Elise, in advance. Thank you. Sometimes I procrastinate because I'm anticipating the pain of no. And it's easy to be busy in preparation, but not in action. How do I get over procrastination? Is there any answer than just do it? Knowing that I'm supposed to do doesn't translate to action, though, just procrastinating. I think there isn't any better answer than just do it. So if you are procrastinating, well, maybe your dream is not big enough. Maybe what you want is not big enough to pull you through. Maybe you need to go through $1 days in your bank to freak you out. Sometimes you need some pain to kick your butt. You know, to be in all fair honesty, I think when I was struggling with $1 days, I get things done like this because there's a sense of urgency. But now it's like, all right, I'll take months at a time. I'm not in it. And, you know, so maybe you need to make what you want to do, you need to have that fire in the belly. There's no sense of urgency, therefore you procrastinate. So this may not be something that you really want to do. Like, so say for example, you know, this is April, right? And honestly, I haven't done any huge major launches that could put a badge to my career this year. Last year, plenty, right? So this year, it was like, oh my God, I'm just waiting. God, tell me what to do. So I could create a program or two just to survive and just to, for the sake of doing, because everyone else is doing it. But play the whole tape through. Like, do I really want to do this? It doesn't light me up. What lights me up is what I'm about to share with you. This freaking lights me up, all right? Like, if it's not lighting you up, obviously you have so much to consider. So if you are procrastinating, it means you don't have that sense of urgency, or maybe it's not completely lighting you up. So what is lighting you up? You know, you got to find that sweet spot. And sometimes I realize, and it's the fact that the more you rush to find the answer, it's not happening. Same with the thing, this thing that I've created that I want to share with you. It took me a while to figure it out. Like, I started with an idea. Okay, I'm so excited about it. And then I played the whole tape through. No, that's not really nice. And then I'm like, okay, so I'm like, you know? So, and then I waited again. And then I finally fine-tuned it to exactly what I want. It will always be this something bubbling within yourself, and you just have to acknowledge it. Sometimes it's about, you know, if you so want it to happen, the how doesn't even matter, because it will happen eventually. Like, honestly, I'm going to be hosting a live event in LA. Like, I'm going to be sharing with you how you can have a free ticket to see me in LA and your first event with me, networking event. So it's like, what was I saying? Okay, so I'm going to LA. I've been to LA, but I've not hosted anything in LA before. But you just rinse and repeat, because events, the same thing. But I have my friends helping me. So you need to have support group, right? If I don't have my friend, I think I'll probably not want to do this. So that lights me up. And do I know how? No, I don't. But I'm just taking one step at a time. And once you get, you know how to manifest, you know how to create whatever, the system is the same, right? Find what really lights you up, and then create a mantra for it. See that in your vision, and then the how will come one at a time. And the thing is, there's something I want to talk about. It's about decision making. You know, successful people make decisions really quickly. You know, like, my friend gave me 2 hotels. Okay, I want to do this. This is it. I just decide. This is it. This is what I want. Like, I'm so extreme. If I don't do it, I don't do it at all. If I do it, I really put my heart and soul into it. So most successful people are like this. They make it happen. Failure is not an option. That's another mantra, okay? Failure is not an option. There is no such thing as failure in my dictionary. Unless I don't want it, like you're procrastinating, so yeah, maybe. But if I so want it, failure is not an option. I will freaking do it. I'll go figure it out how to do it. Call someone, ask for help, just freaking do it. There is no is not an answer. So in short, your question is, whatever that you want to do is not lighting you up. So go figure out what lights you up. All right, next. You mentioned on working on ourselves to be a better leader, better business person. How can I accelerate my growth? What do you mean? You mean, like, how can you accelerate your growth to be a better leader and a better business person? You cannot rush this. And so whenever you feel like you need to rush, it's coming from fear. Rome wasn't built in a day. If I had my way, I would be a billionaire by now, because I want to. So personal growth takes time. And as like I'm hosting 2,600 women on the Spiritual Entrepreneur Course, as my growth, I need to become a different person. And you just need to watch on yourself. It's just literally work on your emotions. And frankly, it took me, now it's what, April? It took me like 3.5 months to work on myself so that I can get to the next level. Do I wish it could be faster? Oh yeah, of course, right? But you just, there's this thing, your time, her time, his time, and divine's timing. So there's no rush in, you cannot rush in working on yourself, because it really comes from, it comes from fear, right? In the realm of the miraculous, it can happen just like right now. Like I've been working on it for 3 months, and now it's the right time, boom, I just feel so good, and it's effortless living. I'm telling you, but you need to put in the time first to work on yourself, understand yourself, what kind of leader you are, what triggers you. It will take time. You know, you need time to heal your wound, or whatever you call it, right? I mean, there's this renovation going on, but anyway, so even if you cut yourself, you cannot expect it to miraculously heal like this. It needs time to heal. And then once the scars, once it's, you know, the wound is closed, there is scars, and you need time for the scars to remove. You know, when I was 20 something, I had a fall on my leg, and 20 years later, no, not 20 years, 10 years later, then the scar kind of like disappeared. So you have to stay in the moment. Whenever you're feeling, I want to be fast, you know, you are ahead of yourself. You're working on the fear mode. All right. You mentioned about peer support. How do I find a suitable mastermind group? How did you find yours? I invested $10,000 in mine. All right. And so I'm so glad you asked this question, because I will have an opportunity for you. You don't have to invest $10,000 at a very affordable rate, because I have such a passion for startups, because, you know, everyone is going for the mid-range and up. But what about the startups? I feel like if you don't help the startups, they will never be able to see the light or the rainbow. So hang on for that. I will share with you much more details on that. It seems contradictory though, making decisions quickly and playing the tape through. So yes, you play the tape through, you don't make decisions then. So let me give you an example. Like my friend gave me 2 hotels. I don't need to play the whole tape through to pick between Marriott or Ritz-Carlton or something else. I don't need to play the whole tape through. I just look at the rates, I look at the environment, I look at what I want. Inside within myself, I already know, because it was between, okay, Marina Del Rey or Santa Monica. But I wanted it by the beach, and I wanted it not by the beach. I wanted it close enough to Santa Monica, but I also wanted the yacht scene. So Marina Del Rey, I already know within myself what I want. When you play the whole tape through, it's like me creating my programs, right? When I create my programs, I have to do 4 calls a month, this. Do I really want to do it? Like when I do my Monday mornings with Elizan, right? Before I started, there has to be a commitment for it, all right? Am I prepared to have the show every Monday at 9 o'clock Sundays for the people in the US? Like every Monday, am I prepared to have this commitment? And then I play that whole tape through. If yes, yes. If no, no, right? So it's just like buying a house. If you randomly show me a house right now, I need to play the whole tape through before I think I want to buy a house or not. But when I make that decision, the intention to buy, then when you show me the houses, go look at Property Brothers. They give you 3 choices, A, B, C, and within them you have to pick A, B, or C. So you make that decision like this, but they already had the intention to buy the house, okay? All right, that's it. Any questions? If you're on the line, you can go ahead and press *2 as well. I'll be very happy to speak to you. Any questions? Let me see. before, I want to share with you, tomorrow is my birthday and I'm really excited. I turned 35, but I don't look 35, hopefully. I know I don't look 35 because I've brainwashed myself to look 25. So I'll be hosting a live event in LA, as you know, and I love creating communities and networking, and I cannot imagine my business without networking and rubbing shoulders with the right people. You know, you can network, and I see so many people not using networking as a strategy. And think about this, you know, you're on Facebook. Why are you in so many Facebook groups? You want to network, you want to get clients, you want to get your name out there. But think about how many Facebook groups are you in. Like, I approve people every day. Sometimes I see people in 1,000 over net Facebook groups, in 20 over. It's like, it's just too many. How many hours do you have in a day to network with people on Facebook groups? And you know, you don't just go into a Facebook group and just do your rant and la 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 and then expect people to sign up, expect people to hire you. You need to build relationships. That is where most people go wrong. They think I go in, do some blast, and people will hire me instantly. No, that's not true. This is networking. Networking is building relationships, all right? And I want to let you know, I'm not scaring you, but if dinosaurs aren't a sure thing, weren't a sure thing, what makes you so sure? Human race will be a sure thing, and what makes you so sure the internet will be a sure thing as well? And if you're so heavily dependent on the internet, and if it goes away, what will happen to you and your Facebook group? Think about it. If you want to recession-proof your business, it's not about being in so many Facebook groups. All right, because everybody in the Facebook group wants to sell, but nobody really wants to buy, you know. And the fact of the matter is, not if there isn't enough people talking about you, nobody will be talking about you. Your name is not going to get out there. All right, and if you are in groups that have a lot of people and it's really exciting and people are commenting, your thread will be disappeared in no time. And so how will people find you? So in that aspect, I would encourage you to do Facebook ads. And I'm not sure if you heard of this group called the BNI. And BNI, I think in the first time the economy crashed, I think the 90s, and it took off because people came together, they networked and they collaborated and they gave referrals. And of course, over the years, it kind of like got diluted, right? And local networkings are good if you are local, and I highly encourage you to go there. But if you want to build a global brand, then you need a global market. I cannot stress, like when I started in my business, I knew I needed media coverage. And who the hell is Elise? Nobody knows her, but I knew I needed media coverage. And that was when I joined a network specifically targeting for media coverage. And that was how my business took off. And I'm in Splash and all over media. And this month I'm in the Her World, one of the biggest magazines in Singapore again. And I just got another one which is on the way. So it may not give you clients, but it gives you credibility. This will not have happened if I didn't rub the right shoulders, you know, like network the right way. And you know, and the awards that I bagged is literally me going after it. It wasn't like, oh, you know, Elise got nominated out of nowhere. I went after it. I rubbed with the right shoulders. I put my face in front of them, and voila, I got nominated and I got selected. Of course, you need to have some kind of substance before you can be, you know, you can have some kind of award, right? So initially, I wanted to do this as a coaching thing. It's called Thriving Spiritual Business, but it evolves. Like I told you, it goes through like many versions of evolution, and I played the whole tape through. This is where I thought about, what can I do best to serve the people? What the people need right now? I don't think you need another coach. I don't think you need another marketing whatever online program. You don't. What is lacking in the community and in the market out there is a pure, genuine networking group, where you network genuinely, where you come together as a group, as peer support. You don't have to worry, I'm being sold to. I don't have to worry if I say something, someone's gonna sell me something. You can be yourself. Like I just posted something on Facebook about what do you do when you walk into a group of people and network. I tell you, I can network anywhere, in the toilets, in the bathroom. In Singapore, it's called toilets. In America, I know it's called the restroom, bathroom. I could network in supermarkets. I could network anywhere. if I wanted to. There's no more fear. I'm fearless. But the reason why I network is not because I want them to buy something from me. It's because I want to build relationships. And just as you cannot guarantee that the internet won't go away, but these relationships can be guaranteed. So my new motto is to help you build meaningful and create meaningful relationships and lifelong partnerships. I want to share a story with you. You know, a lot of immigrants came from China to Singapore because they want a good life, right? And my grandfather created his empire, his $1 million empire in 30 years, 3 decades, sewing car seats and stuff like this. Here now with technology, 3 years, 1 year, you can do that. But it's not sustainable because you got to constantly build your list. I tell you how my grandfather built his business. He built his business. He didn't have like 10,000 followers. He didn't have 20,000 followers. Gosh, I'm not even sure he has so many clients. But the clients and suppliers he have are this tight. They go deep. Their relationship is really deep. When he passed away, people flew in from Taiwan and all over the place. You know, so it's not going wide. It's not about you having 10,000. It's all the ego game. Yeah, you know, it's a numbers game, that's for sure. But if you're not building one relationship in your tribe, if you're not going deep, then how? All right. So I'm so thrilled and happy to announce that I have decided to launch my network. It's called Her Spiritual Network. It's only for women. Why? You know, I know the Spiritual Entrepreneurs Group is men and women, but women network differently. And most networks, they are created by men for men. Women network differently. Women build relationships very differently. So if you go to any local networking event, I can guarantee you their structure is for men. Women don't do business like this. So this network is for women, by women, me. So rest assured that, you know, it's very feminine catered, but at the same time, you will have the opportunity to build your masculine skills. I always say you've got to think like a man, but act like a woman. So you want to be, women are such destructive creatures. At the same time, they can be so loving creatures. If you love each other, you can create a lot of stuff together. I want to say shit, but stuff together. But if you hate each other, it's just like cat fight. So women are amazing people. Men just don't work like this because men, they compartmentalize their emotions. Women don't. So we got to build that muscle within ourselves. That we got to trust other women as well. We got to trust to have support. Money is support. If you're not having money in your life, it means you're denying support. All right. And initially, my bonus was just 1 free ticket to LA and a 30-minute strategy session with me, the extraordinaire, me, the strategist. I did a Rent Your Brain recently. It was $250, but now it's for free. Not free, complimentary. I don't like the word free, but yeah, it's complimentary, and it's only $97 a month. You get 90-minute call like this. So I will do a networking. Like I said, you don't need some other coaching, more coaching. You need strategies to network. You need network strategies, like strategies to build your brand sustainably with low investment, right? Building relationships, actually, there's not much to think about. Like now doing this, it's free. I just buy, the hosting, but it's priceless, right? So it's not measurable by money. So you want to build relationships like this. It's $97 per month. It's very affordable with the market, how to network, all the tools. Every month you have a module and you get to network. So what works? I've networked all my life. I'm the online. I was a VP of a chapter, and I was voted most. I'm not voted. I gave the most referrals. So you want referrals to come to you and not hunt for clients every month. It's very tiring. So can you just imagine, like, in a group of 50, 100 people, and these 100 people are talking about you, and it comes back as referrals. Did you spend anything? $97. And how many clients did you get? You need to be, it's like, just think about this, right? You have an advertisement on TV, say XYZ product. You're like, oh yeah, that's true. And then I recommend you this XYZ product. You'll be keen to listen to me because you don't get any monetary benefits from it. So, you do get that. So It's $97 per month, no contracts. You get to network in a Facebook group, private group, where you can pitch to one another, not to sell, but pitch, try, whatever it is, get ideas, because you're in your business so much. You're in your business so much. Sometimes you just need a third person's perspective, a bird's eye view from someone else. A doctor cannot cure himself. That's the same analogy. All right, so if you cannot make it to this LA event, hold that ticket. You can come for the next one for free. All right, and of course, tomorrow is my birthday, and I want to share with you that only 30 tickets to the LA event. So if you're in the States, be sure you get your hands on it, because there are only 30, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be snapped up. All right, so book it today. And then, because it's my birthday tomorrow, I've got extra bonuses. And tomorrow I'm going to be hosting another public call. So you really want to get your hands on this, right? So you need, for me, because I had key people of influence to promote me, and therefore I was able to build my brand very quickly and my credibility in the business. So you need key people of influence to talk about you. And that's what I want to do for the members. I want to interview you and spotlight you in my blog and all over my media channels, like Google Plus. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. I have 300,000 views, but I have only 16 followers. So I don't know how that happened. So obviously people are watching my Google Plus channel. And I have 7,000 over fans on Facebook, and obviously the 2,000 plus people on the Spiritual Entrepreneurs. So I want to talk about you, all right? And I can only talk about you when I know you enough. And so therefore, this will be the benefits of my bonus, not benefits, but a bonus, and it's only for the first 20 people. So know that tomorrow I'll be doing a public call, and once this 20 is snapped up, then you probably have to wait for the next one. So once again, you get $97 per month. You get all these yummy stuff, and you get direct contact with me. I'll be, you are in my zone of radius to make sure you succeed, right? It's $97. I'm not selling you a high ticket item. Everyone can afford a $97 program if you can afford a $10,000, $5,000, $6,000 coaching program. All right, so that's my free ticket to you, your free gift, 30-minute strategy session that's worth like $800 over dollars. My special bonus for my birthday gift is I'll be featuring you on my blogs and talking about you, 20 people. All right, so sign up today and start networking, right? I want to remind you again, you want to recession-proof your business, right? And it doesn't matter what business you change into, like we all evolve. And so one day now you want to be selling jewelry, the next day you want to be selling diamonds or whatever it is. It doesn't matter, because you know that you have this group of people who will support you because they already know you. They know you so well, and they'll be willing to promote you to their networks as well, because they trust you. They know that the people that they refer to you will be in good hands. So I forgot to tell you where you should sign up. It's elise-n.com/her-spiritual-business. All right. So the faster you sign up, the faster we can do the interview, and I can talk about you, and let's get the thing rolling and get some momentum going. All right. So again, it's Elise, ELYSE-n.com/her-spiritual-network. Her-spiritual-network. In fact, go there right now. I have limited slots every month, only catered for my high-end clients. So I will put you in that bracket as well. So I can't see why you shouldn't sign up for $97 it's such an affordable marketing tool. Networking. First of all, it doesn't matter how good you are if you have nobody to talk to. It doesn't matter how good you are if you have nobody to serve, right? So just think of this as your extended sales force, your extended family around the globe. Isn't that amazing? Around the globe. So you want to have more and more people talking about you, and that's when you very quickly raise your profile. Can you just imagine, right? Everyone typically, now on Facebook, everyone had at least 1,000, 2,000 friends. I'm just saying the bare minimum, 250 friends on each personal profile, personal page. 100 people, that's the number of people I want in my group. 100 people times 250. That is 25,000 people talking about you. How much did you spend? $97. All right. And in the networking event, I'm going to be sharpening and tightening your elevator pitch, when you should say your elevator, because when I saw the Facebook, oh, I'll just say hi and just dish out my elevator. No, you don't. Okay, there is a time and space for that. Sometimes I don't even introduce myself, tell people what I do first. That's my strategy. That's why people love me so much. And I'm going to be sharing with you in the event why you don't need business cards, you know, and then talk to each other, be comfortable, and then go around the room mingling and just be comfortable in networking, talking about that, and fine-tuning your pitch, fine-tuning what you do, fine-tuning how to create conversations and stuff like this, because you just can't walk into networking, hi, I'm Elise, and I do this. Nobody gives a shit, all right? So how do you get people notice the things that you wear, you know, these are so many things that I will share with you during the LA event, and more during the calls that the time that we'll spend together. All right, so first 20 people, and your free ticket. If you cannot make it this time, you can make it the next one, and 30-minute strategy call with me, and the spotlighting you on my social media channels. All right, I'm going to go very quickly to the last Q&A and see if there are any questions. Alrighty, so once again, I love to network with you and build meaningful relationships and lifelong partnerships and surpass any internet era and recession-proof your business. All right, so this is Elise signing out. I'll see you soon. Bye.